Yo, man, you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do this. Little interview. I've been checking some people here in the stream.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do a little interview with someone that left and then came back. Are you nervous?
I was quite nervous like 5 minutes ago or something, but yeah, still, yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah,
that's
sure.
fine, that's fine. I'm gonna ask a few questions. I don't know if you already saw interviews, probably you did, so you know how it's quite chillax. You're one of the people that came and left, right? And then came back. Can you explain when you came over and when you left and when you came back? And why you came over and why you left and why you came back?
Well, it was with the click, basically, back then. So yeah, the click appealed to me back then, and then I just thought, okay, let's change the world, boys, and then came here.
Why did you leave?
Because people have to know that this place really changes over the times. Like, I guess you always find better approaches, and then the whole place basically changes. And yeah, back then it was a lot with the mindset stuff, and it wasn't so action oriented. Maybe it was more like inward oriented, and I don't know, man. I don't even really know why I left, but yeah, no, it's much more.
Why did you come back?
I came back because I realized that you guys will have a lot of success. You guys will change the world, and I also want to change the world, and I knew it's the best thing I can do, and that's why I came.
So now that you're here, right, do you still think that to be true, or do you feel like, this place actually ain't gonna do shit?
Boys, there's a lot of stuff coming in the next years. You have no idea, man. There's no comparison to how people operate, like compared to somewhere else and here. Everybody is so dedicated towards doing the right thing, and when you have this, like you have more than 30 people working on projects and being dedicated all day without being paid, well, being paid in lentils or something. This is uncomparable, I would say, to anything.
Did you need to have a reality check to come over here?
Yeah, I guess, like, there were some reality checks. Like,
can you explain a bit about that?
Like, I really was into science and all of this rationality thinking and stuff. And I really thought, oh man, I'm gonna have impact with science. I'm gonna do this, mathematics and whatever. And I guess a big reality check is just that the people, even in science, most of them are just following the standard path, so to say. They just, yeah, okay, let's get a job and have a family and stuff like this. And there's no real deep thinking about, what do I actually want to do in the world? Like, I mean, a good bullshit filter always for me is if somebody is vegan or not, and like you see how few people are actually vegan, and I don't want to work with people like this if they don't even take their own ethics into this simple action not to kill animals, and it's so easy not to kill animals. And I'm just not so interested in working with people who are so confused about what they want to do.
Like, you've arrived here not so long ago, right? How is the place now compared to before you left?
It's much more focused on action, I would say. There's much more organization and stuff like this as well. Like, you come here and you basically have a list, you go, things that you do. Like, it's actually pretty nice because you come here and then, what do I do now? And then you have this list here, do these things, like setting up your PC and stuff like this. And it's actually pretty nice to start doing stuff. Yeah, the organization is just much more consistent.
Do you see yourself leave again?
No, like there's almost no way. Like the chance is really low that I would leave. There's basically no reason why.
Why not?
Because I can just do what I want to do, and
do you get bossed around?
There's nobody who tells me what I want to do. I what I need to do or something. I just do what I think I want to do, and yeah.
I see. So, as a viewer, right, what would you tell yourself? Like,
if I was a viewer, right now, I would say stop being a pussy and just fucking apply, man. But he knows it. Like, the guy who would watch, he would just know it. He would just lie to himself, I guess, if he doesn't come over.
Have you seen, like, the people that you knew, right, before you left and came back? Do you feel like they have grown, or you didn't have so many contacts?
Oh, yeah.
Which
It's
people?
insane.
Which people
Like
did you see?
Mario, she came basically with me, and now he's just this guy working all day and having this impact. And I could have been like, I would be like him right now if I would have stayed, I guess.
He's
And
doing a
that's
lot.
really-
Like he knows a lot about Unity.
Yeah.
He knows how to make his own apps, make your own websites, everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of surreal.
Yeah, it's insane. And I guess it's for everybody who's here for.
What have you learned in the time that you were gone?
Some biology stuff, I guess. Not so much.
If you could go back in time, would you have left with what you know now?
What do you mean? Like,
Imagine you are the person right
I
now.
would definitely, like, if I had the chance to talk to the guy who left back then, I would tell him, hey, please don't leave. And that I would just tell him, just take action every day and see what's happening, basically.
So, like on a concrete level, right? Like, what impact do we have? You're inside, you see what we're doing. What is it that we're doing?
I'm pretty sure that have a pretty big impact on poverty the next few years. Like with the doobie and stuff.
Yeah.
And like I see the game a bit, like not so much, but I'm pretty sure that the game will do a lot.
You do some testing of the exchange, right?
Yeah.
How is that going?
Oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a major update coming.
Little spoiler, guys. When is that
Yes,
coming?
well, soon.
What's this guy's IQ or education level or other achievements?
My education levels dropped out of university and my IQ is actually 150. Yeah, 140, sorry.
140. How many pi numbers did you? 100k?
15k.
15k?
Well, I wanted to do 100k. I would have done 100k.
15,000 numbers of pi in his head.
In 2 months or something.
What was the true reason he left in his own eyes? Sorry if the question was already answered.
It was just that I didn't like the click anymore, basically, to be relatively honest. At the time was not really compatible with the approach that we had.
Do you know some numbers of pi now? Or you forgot them?
I would have to...
How many numbers could you recite out of your head now?
Man, not so much.
What is not so much?
I mean, I could try to start, but man, it's hard. Know that I'm, nervous and stuff.
I know 3.14. And what comes after?
1, 5, 9, 2, 6, 5, 3, 5, 5, 8, 9, I think. Then 7, 9, 3. I have to,
Well, they can already check that.
Yeah, I wasn't into the pi stuff when I was at home.
Everybody is probably checking right so far.
The thing is, I have my system and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
But I have to interpret the system, and the interpretation is a bit slow.
Is it the guy that was trying to get the world record for media exposure? Yeah.
Yeah.
But we went away from that. Would have been a cool stunt though. 100k numbers. What is the idea behind that haircut?
The idea is I just cut my hair and then this was left and I found, why not?
Can you describe a typical day?
A typical day is that I get up at like 2 or 3 o'clock. Then I brush my teeth and stuff like this and meditate for 15 minutes. Then I go down to the basement and start testing LuiX for like 5 hours or something. And I also, like on Sundays, I have to do some practical stuff like cleaning. And then I go to the kitchen and I have my kitchen shift until something like 3.
3 in the morning?
Oh yeah. It's supposed to be 1 in the morning, but always take longer. I have to be more efficient there.
I see. What do you think about the food here?
The food is fucking amazing, man. It's so good. We just have so much different foods and you can just pick whatever you want and
it's really like...
You always have the best food if you want to.
It's like a restaurant here. People don't realize that.
I don't know what people think. But the way it works is that there are people in the kitchen like me who keep the food flowing basically and the food is just awesome. It's like lentils, buckwheat, millet, there's so much different things. Veggies, and like paprika, carrots, like fresh cut, tomatoes and stuff like that. And then basically people order what they want. Like there's a standard food recipe, but a lot of people choose to have a different combination of stuff. And then we make it for them and bring it to them. And they can just work all day and don't have to worry about food.
It's really insane how optimal this place is. People don't realize
and
it.
it gets more optimal
Yeah.
all the time. Because I was actually thinking about it a bit. It's like you have a machine where every cog trying to be most efficient within the machine, but also tries to improve
Other cogs.
other cogs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miroslav says, can you elaborate on the reasons you left and why, and what made you change your mind? Was there any growth or realizations after you left? People identify
they
with
liked
you
it.
leaving. They like the idea. Like,
They
what?
like it that I didn't like the click, right?
They like also that. Why did you, when you left, did you grow? Were there realizations? They want to know.
Man, I was just a pussy and left, and then I wasn't a pussy anymore. I came back.
Is that really what it is when you boil it down? Because it almost sounds like, you know, you're trolling them or something.
As I said, I really like had some thoughts that there might be other approaches to having a good impact in the world that might also work, basically. Like,
Yeah.
I thought, okay, I'm gonna do science and have impact with science.
So what did you do in the science world?
Oh, well, I studied. Like society tells you to, yeah, you have to study and stuff.
And then did you
But-
finish your degree?
Oh, no.
So what did you do in the studying? You just study. It's just like university.
Yeah. Actually, when I look back, like, if you think about, let's do science or something, you can just always write a book or some shit like that. Like, that you don't have to have a degree to do science. That's what I would do now. I think I would just write a book.
But nobody would read
Yeah.
your book though.
Yeah. It's bullshit. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like nowadays everything is with videos and
Yeah.
easy videos online that get millions of views. Like writing is an old medium. It doesn't work so well anymore.
Yeah, that's probably true.
How many do you think that are watching the stream right now, right? Because they can identify with you because you left. You're one of them. So they
Guys, you know what's best.
what would you be doing if a teens group didn't exist? How would you be improving the world?
The question is self-defeating, so to say, because I wouldn't be the person that I am without the crew.
So let's say we all die tomorrow. Poof, all gone.
I would have food for some months or some years even.
His real motive comes up. He just wants to eat, man.
Yeah, it would be pretty hard. The stream would probably be a bit more boring.
We'd just be chilling in this hotel.
I would have to do all the kitchen and all of the stuff. Like, there would be so much stuff that I would have to do. It's
What he says here is that's what I meant by a cult. Your entire self-worth is dependent on a thing.
Man, it doesn't make any sense. My self-worth comes from me knowing my place in the universe, basically. You can't get self-worth from somebody else. It doesn't work at all. You always find this within yourself.
This guy obviously knows what he's talking about, you know, like in the chat, criticizing and stuff, making some valid arguments to justify that this is all a cult. What if one day the whole group splits up, Athene decides he doesn't want to do good anymore and you lost all progress?
What progress? Like, what do you mean with losing all progress? Because there's definitely progress that is still there.
Well,
Even if-
I think Marius can immediately get a job with all the skills he learned.
Yeah, exactly. I also would be now much more confident to just get shit done, and I would be more honest toward myself, and yeah, I would just do a lot more things. Be a better person, basically. Even if everything fails tomorrow, then...
Like, what the problem with people that watching the stream, right?
Hmm.
They set very high bar to ask questions to you while you just came very recently and hold you on much bigger standards than themselves just to find an excuse or a reason to stay in their potato way. Because this, like, he just came back, was not even a month ago, a few weeks back,
Yeah.
and getting into the flow and stuff, and you guys are already putting a bar and trying to judge him on a level that is completely unreasonably high. If I put Nolan here, right, he'd just be talking, laughing in your face because he would know where he stand and how much he grew. He's been here for a few weeks and it's already like, would you say in the few weeks you've been here that you see some growth or not so much?
The growth is that I'm much more confident because I know that I actually follow up with what I know is right. Before, I would think I actually know that something else is the better thing and I don't do it. And then how can you trust yourself if you know that actually what you're doing is not the right thing. Yeah, I can much more trust myself now.
Would you give up your position to another person without knowing anything about them and never knowing it may have been a bad idea for the sake of giving others a chance?
What? Sorry, I didn't understand
That's
it.
a really weird question.
My own position, do you mean what I think is right? Or?
Would you give your place being here to someone else so they just have the chance?
Yeah, it depends on what person this is. Like, if you say to me, it's some random person, like from the pool of every person living right now, then I wouldn't do it because I'm much more action oriented than the average, I would say. But if you give me additional information about what this person would do when they are here, and I would have reason to believe that they would have more impact than me, then I would instantly give my position.
Do you truly believe you want to have an impact in the world, or you just want to fulfill your needs, which could be done by helping the world? I'm not here to judge, just curious. You're saying ATHENE, you're asking him, right? Not me.
I guess it's a pretty hard question to answer. I mean, in the end, it's actually, this is one of the big insights we have from modern psychology and neuroscience, is that you don't have so much knowledge about what drives your behavior. You basically just behave, and then afterwards you make rationalizations about, I wanted to get up to get a Coke, like with the split brain patients. Like, you give one hemisphere the order, get up and get a Coke. The guy gets up, gets a Coke, and then you ask him, and you ask the other hemisphere that can speak, why did you do that? And they just say, I was thirsty or something. It's basically like, I think the left hemisphere, there's something called the interpreter, and it basically always makes a narrative, a story about what you do. And this is basically what you tell other people. So I guess it's what you think, why you do things, but your behavior is just the expression of your whole brain, so to say, and it's hard for just a certain part that is speaking to access all of the brain. I don't know if...
Well, I understand what you're saying. Like, for me to answer that question, to me it's just about being what you are and align yourself with reality, and that automatically results for me in trying to have the biggest impact in the world. And that's it. It's that simple. Everything else is just a lie. It's not aligned with reality, and that's why I'm more fulfilled, more confident, and more successful. Because I'm just more aligned with reality, and I understand it way better. And people that are stuck in their own emotional feedback loops because they have the luxury to do so just achieve a lot less, because what they do just doesn't work as well. It's quite simple, you know. Alexander says, okay, I think 90% of people have no idea what you're doing actually. Can you tell something about it, or you don't care? We're working on a game, we're working on a crypto, we're working on exchange. Right now we have trading as well, practical stuff, growing the place logistically wise and everything, making sure things are optimized. Do you think it's a cult here?
No, man. It's like a reversed cult. It's like all of society is basically a cult telling you to do things and emotionally manipulating you to. And then the moment you try to actually think about what you do, then it's actually pretty easy to come up with something like this. Like, what would some people, like, let's say there are some altruists who want to change the world, like, just think about what they do. And then maybe it's something very similar to what we are doing right now. Like, they just connect each other, they just work on projects, try to get exposure. Like, that's the much more...
But most people that are watching don't care so much about it, you know?
Yeah.
The crazy thing is that the way you go about life doesn't work as well. It is dishonest, it's a lie, and you know it. All you guys fucking know it. Do you feel some pressure to be productive all the time, even though you might just be thinking about something which might result in something positive as well? Do you experience pressure here?
Maybe from Cassie, but everybody is quite chill. Like, you are alone with your responsibility. Like, you are always together with other people, but your responsibility is something that is yours alone, and this is how you operate. Like, every pressure that I would experience is just from my own understanding about the world. Like, if I really understand that there are people dying right now, that of course puts pressure on me, but it's not like that somebody else tells me, there are people dying, but it's my own understanding that I understand, there are people dying, and of course this is something like pressure, but it's much more, it's something else when it comes from within, I guess.
Alexander says, okay, Athene, but can you agree right now it's all about the money or you don't care about it? Well, money is merely a tool. I don't care so much about money at all. I only care about money to the extent that it can help me push the goal to push humanity forward. That's it. Second question, do you have any hobbies? What do you do when you're tired?
When I'm tired, I mostly get to my room. I have a little diary. I have an audio diary for half an hour or something.
An audio diary?
Yeah. And then I basically start sleeping.
So have you kept an audio diary always or just now here?
3 years or something. Oh, yeah.
You have 3 years audio diary?
I guess, yeah.
Man, that's interesting.
It's almost every day.
Do you re-listen to it sometimes?
Not really. I used to do that sometimes, and it was sometimes quite fun and stuff, but it takes so much time to re-listen to that.
Maybe one day you can put it open to the public so everybody can listen to your diaries.
This is actually one thing that I think sometimes about in my diaries. Like, let's say, I don't know, the internet gets uploaded or whatever. Like.
How do you know if people are slacking or not doing their best? Like, I have reality decide that. I'm not busy going around and checking on people, because if people are here for the wrong reasons, they run away, man. It's not chillax anymore like it used to be. You come over here, you just do the things you gotta do, and there is a very nice system that keeps track of everything, and that's it. Like, if you're just doing nothing all day, it will just automatically, come out, if not after a week, after a month.
Yeah, I also
How do you check the reality then? What? That's really a strange question what you're asking. It's really like, how do you check that people make food when there is food on your fucking table, right? That's how you check that people make food. It's these kind of weird questions.
Yeah, it's like throw a person into a river and you see if they can swim or not.
Do you block people? That sounds like...
Okay, it's maybe a bit too...
It's oddly too specific. It's like, what? You guys throwing people in rivers? Do you block people from visiting certain websites? No, man. We don't do that. Are you free to do what you want?
Yeah, sure. I can just go outside. I can just leave anytime I want. There's nobody who checks on me or something like that.
There would be questions, but the answers we've received were coming from the rational part of the brain rather than how he truly feels about things. Well, Miroslav, I want to tell you, like, you're talking to him or about me. When you talk to me, right, I'm a very cognitive person that really understands my emotions very well and feel a very strong connection and alignment. And when you type a question like that in the chat, right, you don't even care about the actual answer because you yourself are just typing this question for emotional reasons, trying to make excuses why you don't do something more productive with your life. And the funny thing, or rather the sad thing, is that reality will come at you harder than any answer that he could give or I could give, because you will see this place having more and more success, and knowing you could have been part of it and actually really, do something really big in the world, that will come at you harder than anything we say. And the sad thing is that, it's not just you, your experience, that will pay the price, but the people that you could have helped by, being more responsible. And that's all. At the end of the day, it's just about reality. It's about what is. It's about what works. And coming over here and working in this environment and having an impact just works better than just sitting on your ass playing poker or whatever all day. It works way better because the way you go about life has no meaning, has no purpose. It's empty. And you can drool and think about all your emotions all day long. But at the end of the day, it's about integrity, taking responsibility, and taking the consequences of your actions in front of you and act accordingly. And that's all. And everything else is just mumbo jumbo. It's just about reality. Just as much you can say like, oh, this, that. Reality defines everything. Not his answers, not my answers. Reality itself. And that's why if tomorrow you don't have food, or if tomorrow there is war, you would act completely different than the way you act now. Reality defines your entire framework. And when you let yourself think that it's your thoughts or your reason that dictates reality or your emotions, you're lying to yourself. The only thing that defines reality is reality itself, and that's it. So you think you're doing the right work right now? Well, based on the results, I do, yeah. I definitely do. Are you still getting people to click, or did you give up on that? Man, I just put people in a situation where they can work and take action. That's it. Works way more effective.
Yeah.
I mean, this place has grown like crazy. People have grown so much here, it's insane. They know how to code. They know how to develop stuff. When you get in a mindset like this where you work all the time, man, oh man, you can achieve everything. It's fucking insane. When you started YouTube, was this your goal? Yeah. I always had the idea of starting this place. What do you have to do, by the way?
More testing.
How do you test, by the way? Do you get direction or you just try out stuff?
Well, Raphael is giving me quite some direction.
People don't realize how much work it is. They just see a website or they see a game and they just assume, oh, it works.
There's a new version, then you find all the things that are wrong with it, then this gets fixed, and then you do this over and over. But the website will be pretty cool. 2bx.
How many residents you have sacrificed to the deity so far? People don't have so much stuff to say. I think like your no bullshit, don't be a pussy makes everybody quiet. Normally when they can find stuff, they just talk, but they know. They know what you say is true.
Maybe they just are thinking and not typing.
But it's actually quite nice. I like it. When the chat is quiet, I see it as a really good... Like, I really think some people are seriously considered to apply.
You will regret it so hard if you don't apply now.
It's really crazy, though. They will really regret it. It will burn so hard. It will be insane.
It will be insane.
When the place is filled, it's filled. It's just you're like, yeah, sorry. And you'd be like, yeah, but I want to be part of this. I want to be part... If the parents that tell you not to come over here will start saying like, hey, I heard about this place, you should go there. That's when you're really going to, sink in. You said, but you said no, but I didn't know that they were doing, like, look, they're doing projects around the world. Look at these poor children they're helping. Like, I mean, these people, look how successful they are. They're millionaires. But why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you tell us? Yeah, but I didn't. No, you didn't. And then you're sitting there, but I missed out on this opportunity. And then you can go, in your room, eat some chocolate cake, eat your frustrations away, victimizing yourself. Nobody will care, man.
Especially if you are on the fringe of applying right now. Imagine how much harder it will burn. Because you knew, man, I almost did it, but I didn't because, I don't know, my mom was worried. Some shit like that.
KTech MN, what is the best way to find evidence of what you've achieved? Well, KTech MN, you can just type in, Athene on Google. Watch my life as a gamer as well. We've raised $23 million for charity, but that's just the beginning. We're working on a game right now. We have an exchange. Everybody wants to invest when the price is all-time high, a parallel to joining here. That's actually really true. They just go like, yeah, all-time high. But it's all-time high. You can't be part of it anymore. But it's really like that. People just go and they don't think. They just miss out this opportunity. This is better than working for Google, man. Or for any company you can imagine being here. And it's right in front of you. And you're just letting it slip away.
When you see the game, do you think that, it's not gonna do so much? Or some shit like that? It's obvious that...
Miroslut says, let me get it straight, Athene. Do you believe that everybody's capable of working out in the current environment just by working hard and not being pussy? What do you think?
If you come here and you want to do good in the world, you have a certain level of honesty, I guess. You will just work out. You will just constantly do stuff and...
I'm almost certain, by the way.
What was the question?
The question is that people would work out here by not being a pussy. I'm certain about it. And you might say like...
Yeah, just come over and not be a pussy, yeah.
But I can even prove it, Miroslav. I can prove it. If I would point a gun on your head and tell you to work and do what you would be doing here, you'd be doing it all day. You are capable of doing it. The only reason why you don't is because you're a pussy. That's it. That's it. And you know it. You know it. You give yourself all this choice and take advantage of the privileges you got being a hypocrite and lying to yourself. But you know that you're capable of doing it. You know you can do your best. And all the rest is a lie. A fat lie. These bullshit excuses don't work, They might work in your environment because people agree, to bullshit each other. But man, oh man. And you know what's fucking sad and funny at the same time? When people here, right, that are even less intelligent than you will achieve more than you and you will be confronted by it, that's when it starts becoming harder and harder to bullshit yourself. It's gonna burn very hard. And that's just how it is, It's like what he says, Marius, right? You saw, he came with you.
Yeah.
And now he's working, making websites, really knowing how to make his own apps. Just like that. To both of you, what are your religious beliefs? I don't know, man. I don't know if God exists or whatever. I don't care about it. It's not relevant. What do you think about your religious beliefs?
I think that if you ask for certain contents, like did God create the universe or some shit like that, then it's just very unlikely. I guess there is something called teapot agnostic. I'm agnostic about God the same way I'm agnostic about a teapot circling the sun right now. Like there could be a teapot circling the sun and we wouldn't be able to detect it and stuff. Like, but the chance that this is the case is so low that it's bonkers to build your life around that belief.
I would say, guys, you guys can apply. I'll address that one question. With how do one change a belief? Middle slot, let me tell you, it's not about your beliefs. Just as much as it's not about your feelings. It's not like, I want to change my beliefs. It's like, you have a kid, right? You take care of your kid. If the father says, but my belief is I shouldn't take care of him, how do I do it? You know how absurd that sounds. It's not your beliefs that dictate your behavior, neither it's your emotion. Reality is what does it. And if you have an honest relationship with that, even if you feel like not doing something or you believe something different, you still do it because of reality. Nice interview.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. People, you guys can apply. Any last thing you have to tell the viewers?
If you think about coming over, that's where you have the most responsibility. Like, if you are the kind of person that doing right is better than slacking and being a potato, then this is where you are a person that has the most responsibility. So, yeah.
Just apply already, guys.
Just be a man, man.
Just man up and apply already.